Good evening. Okay, before starting the session, so any doubts from the previous class? So we are discussing about the modules, right? So yesterday we were discussing about the modules, Python modules, right? So what is module? It is a collection of classes or functionality, right? Modules are important that can be imported by using the keyword called import, right? And we have seen the yesterday we have seen the list of modules which are installed by default aligned with the Python software. And apart from that, what are all the different modules are available for Python programming, right? That we saw in the site PyPy, right? That is a repository for Python programming where all the packages are uploaded there, and we have to download and use it. And apart from those, we have worked with the math module. So there we have different inbuilt functions are there, built-in functions. So here with the sum of the functions we have worked, right? So now today we are going to discuss another module, datetime module, which is also a default, default module of your Python software. That means how I'm saying it as default, because the moment when you install the Python, this math module and datetime module both will come as a inbuilt modules, right? So that we have seen yesterday, right? Yesterday I have shown that this math module is default. So we can see that. So now let us go to the command prompt, and here you type it py. So go to Python shell, then there you type help modules, right? Help, and you want to have the information about modules, right? So this is getting loaded. Okay, so of course it is getting loaded. So it is fetching the details of what are all the modules already installed in the computer. So now here if you see math module, already this is inbuilt module, and apart from that one more module is called datetime module, right? That we are going to work with now. See here datetime is also a inbuilt module. Okay, so now in the datetime module, so what is the importance of datetime module here in Python? Because in Python we don't have any data type to declare the date and time, right? So instead of that they have provided one default module, right? If you want to display some current date, you can do that. And if you want to give some date, like for example your own date, right? Some POSIX date, all those things that you can fix it. So for that, to work with all the date and time functionality, they have given one module called datetime module. Okay, so of course in this module we will have a multiple classes. Yesterday I told that, so a module contains a multiple classes, may contain multiple classes or multiple functionalities, right? So and we have worked with the math module yesterday. So there we have seen different functionalities, right? So that means in a module the module can get with multiple classes, or it is a collection of multiple functions, single class with multiple functions, or multiple classes with multiple functions. That depends upon the module hierarchy, and who are going to design that according to their will and wish, they will develop the module. So in a short, the module may contain the classes as well as functionalities. So in the datetime module, of course this datetime module comes built into Python, so there is no need to install it externally. Yes, already it is there, we have seen that. Datetime module supplies classes to work with date and time. So it is having the classes, it will supply the classes to work with your date and time functionalities, and these classes provide a number of functions to deal with dates, times, and the time intervals. Of course that we are going to see now what are all the classes, right? Now here in the datetime module we will have six classes. One class name is called date, and other class name is called time. So this, what is date class? It is analyzed native date assuming current Gregorian calendar, right? So the Gregorian calendar means that English calendar which we are going to follow, that is our Gregorian calendar, right? So sorry, just a minute, screen sharing was stopped, no? Okay, so this date class will provide the date functionality, okay? And another class is there, time class, okay? So this time class, you can, if you want to set some time, then you can use this time class so that you can get the functionality, corresponding time functionality. And another class is there, both the combination of date and time, right? So it is a combination of date class and time class. So at a time simultaneously you can work with your date and time. Now here for date class, this class will take attributes. Attributes means what is meant by attributes? It is nothing but parameters, okay? So parameters of the constructor of that particular class, right? So attributes are nothing but parameters of the constructor of that particular class, right? So when you are going to load this particular class, we have to create the constructor, we have to create the object, right? So that means every class will have the default constructor. So it is the default values, number of parameters it is taking is 3. So it will take year, month, and day, right? And time class will take hour, minute, second, microsecond, TZ info. TZ info means that is separate class, okay? That is separate class, right? So these parameters it will take 5 parameters. And date time class, it is a combination of date and time class along with year, month, day. That means from the date class, year, month, day, right? To represent any date, we need to have the year, month, and day, na? Fine. And apart from that, time, hour, minute, second, microsecond, TZ info, right? And time delta class, another class is there. So this time delta class will use it to express a duration between the differences between 2 dates and time, right? That is the information, that is the thing. And TZ info, time zone, of course these are not well defined classes, these are abstract classes. Depending upon the application, we will, abstract class means the class is declared but the definition is not provided there, right? So according to the requirement, the programmer can define their own, they can inherit or whatever he want according to his requirement, he can do that, right? Of course we no need to worry more about these two things, because now I'm not going to discuss these two classes here, right? Because those two classes doesn't have any specific function. Those two are abstract classes which can be used along with these particular classes. These two classes are defined only for, in fact, last three classes are defined only to provide the services for first three classes, date time class, right? So there is no much importance for these classes. Only in some scenarios, if we want to have some specific functionality, then we'll go for that. Okay. Yes, time delta. Now these 4 classes we will discuss. Even though here we are having the 6 classes, for us the important thing is these 3 classes, first 3 classes, and the next 3 classes they have provided to work with, to support the first 3 classes, right? Okay, now we'll discuss about these 4 classes in our program. Now let us go to the program. Okay, first let us discuss about the date class, right? So date class, and remember here, yesterday to import any module, what we are supposed to do, we have to use the keyword called import, right? Yesterday we have imported math class, so in our program first line must be import math we have written, right? Now but here what I am doing, I am going to import. Now for example, first I want to work with first class, our first class. What is our first class? Now I want to work with our first class. What is our first class? Date class. Date class is a part of which module? It is a date time module. So if you are importing only the date time module, import date time, that is sufficient, right? But if you are importing specific class from the particular module, then you have to use another keyword. You have to use another keyword called from. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do now, from date time, that means from a module called date time module, import date class. Okay. So in my date time module, I'm having 6 classes, but I don't want all the 6 classes now. I want to work with only the date class, right? So how I can mention that? So for that, what you have to do is from your module name. So that means from so and so module, import so and so class. Import so and so class. So here now I want to import date class from date time module. So that's the reason. So I'm mentioning here it as from date time module, import date class. So that means now from my program to date class, some link is created, right? That link is created. Now whatever the functionality is there in the date class, that I can use in my program, right? I can use that date class functionality in my program. Of course, we will see some of the functions, right? So here, now already we have seen in the PPT that our date time module is going to take 3 parameters. What is that? Year, month, and day. Okay, year, month, and day. So when you are using your date class, so you have to, for the constructor, you have to pass year, month, and day, right? So date constructor will take 3 parameters, right? First you have to mention the year, then you have to mention the month, then you have to mention the day. Okay, so this order you have to mention, right? So now what I will do is, so I'll comment out remaining part of the program. Okay, now what I will do is, so here I am calling the date constructor. I am passing the date as 2012 3rd month 38th. Okay, so now this date will be stored in a variable called cus_date. Okay, so now what I'm going to print? I'm going to print cus_date, and let us see. That means now we are setting 2012 March 30, right? So now if you execute, sorry, before executing, since I'm executing first time now, I have to go to run. Okay, so which program? Here multiple programs are there. One date program, right? So now see here, date is printed in the corresponding format. This is ISO format, 2012 March 38th. Okay, and remember here, when you want to use the date constructor, you must pass all the three values in the specified order. First you have to pass the year, then you have to pass the month, then you have to pass day. Okay, no, I don't want to pass this format, I want to pass in my own format. Whether that can be done or not? In functions we have discussed order of parameters. So to change the order of parameter, what you supposed to do? You have to mention the parameter name. Okay, year, month, and day. Okay, year, month, day. So here, right now, if I try to execute this, of course, not yet. Okay. Okay, so now I'm getting here. So now you can change. You can keep here. I don't want to keep here. You can change the order of the parameter. First, you can mention the month, then you can mention the date, then you can mention the year, right? So still you are getting as per the ISO format, right? That means if you want to change, if you want to give your own order, first I want to give the day, then I want to give month, then I want to give year, then you have to mention the parameter name also. Otherwise, you can mention it as default order. Default order is year, then month, and day. Okay. And remember here, and there is a value like limit, means so depending upon the value you are giving to the corresponding parameter, right? So it will raise an error, value error. Okay, so the error can be any year, but when it comes to month, your month should be from 1 to 12, right? And your days should be 0 to 31 maximum, right? 0 to 31, right? Now for example, in place of month 8, I'll give 18. Okay, so then it will raise an error called value error. What is that error? So month must be 1 to 12, but here I have given 18. Okay, and okay, fine, this is 8 I'm making, and day I'll make it as 100. Okay, so no month will have 100 days, right? So it will raise an error, day is out of range of month. So that means in August, how many days will be there in August? I think 31 days, right? 31 days, right? So if you give 32, it will raise an error, right? So the corresponding day is out of range of for the month. Here the month I gave is August. If I mention 32, it will give an error, right? Okay, so like this, by using the date constructor, whatever the date you want to set in your application, you can set it. Okay, now I don't want to set any other date. I want to get the today's date. I want to use today's date in my application. Okay, so for that, in date class, we have one function called today. Right? So what today function will give is, it will return the today's date. So now how you can call a function in a particular class? By using the object of the particular class. So now here my date class object is always here in the modules now. So your class objects are always your class names, right? So now here I want to access today function from my date class. So I have to give date dot today, right? So it will return today's date that will be stored in a variable called today, right? Today. Then I'm going to print today. Okay, let us see what happens, right? So today's date will be printed. This is printing today's date. Okay. Hope it is clear to everyone, right? Now here, of course, this method, we have another method called from timestamp. From timestamp, we have one method called from timestamp. Okay. What is the use of this method is, of course, we won't use these things normally in our applications, right? These are some special methods. So these will we require the help of these methods in some scenarios, right? So it will return the POSIX dates, POSIX date, right? Local format. Okay. POSIX date. What is POSIX date? It is 1st January 1970. What is this POSIX date means? The date where the Unix system was launched, right? The date where the Unix system was launched. So and when we are making some applications, with respect to some Unix based systems, so there if you want to use the correspondence with the POSIX date, that means sometimes we may need to, in some applications, in such application we may need to communicate with the corresponding services, operating system services. Okay, that means now once some service is there, I want to get since from how many days that service is being running, right? So in that case, there in a new system, all the dates are with respect to POSIX. This is the reference date for all Unix based systems. Okay, so and if you want to print that POSIX, that means from timestamp, let us see first what it will give, so that you will understand, right? So POSIX date, what it is giving? 1/1/1970. This is the date where the Unix system was started, and this is the reference date for the Unix based systems, right? Now I'll change it to 100, right? I'll execute it. Okay, right? So what it is giving? It is giving same, right? It is giving same. That means 1/1/1970. So this from timestamp will take some value. So it is one required parameter. That means if you don't mention here, it will raise an error. So what is that error? Exactly one argument. That means from timestamp takes exactly one argument, but here we are not given. So one argument, any number you can give. Okay, so that doesn't matter what number you give, right? We will get the POSIX date. Okay. No, now like from timestamp, we have another function called from ISO calendar. So it will return. Now what is this ISO calendar is? So it will take three parameters first of all. Okay, one is year and week number, then day. So now if you give the year, week number in that year, and day. For example, now I want to find out 5th day of 58th week in 2010, right? Now here I'm going to find out what is the date of 5th day in 58th week, 5th day in 58th week of 2010. Okay, so that means which year you want, what is the week number, and what is the day number you want. Now here I want in 2010 58th week 5th day, what is the date on that particular day, right? So I want to find out. For that you have to give the corresponding thing. So this from ISO calendar will print the corresponding date in ISO format. ISO format, corresponding date in ISO format, right? Now if I execute this, you can see here. So fifth day of 50th week in 2010 is 17th December 2010, right? Now what I will do is, so I'll make it as first week. Okay, in 2010 first week 5th day. So obviously it will come in, what will be the date? It is 5th January 2010, right? Maybe it is 8th January 2010. Maybe that ending date, na? Because in December it may be continued, right? So the first week may start from 2nd or 3rd, right? So it is giving 8th January 2010. So now let us take 2020 and first 5th day of 2020. Sorry. So it is 3rd January 2020. Okay. So what is that 5th day? Let me check it. Okay, we'll print the calendar. Of course, we one more module is there, calendar module. If you want to work with that calendar module also, that is also a default module. So that will print all the calendar. Okay, day should not be more than 7, right? 1 to 7. Okay, so here day means it will start from 1 to 7. 1 to 7 means one is actually it will start from Sunday, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? So accordingly 7th day means 7th means it is Saturday, right? Saturday, what is the first Saturday in January in 2020, right? So that is on 5th 2020. Let us check here, or we'll make it May. So it is 2/2/2020. So let us check Saturday. So Saturday is 2. Why it has come 2/2? Okay, sorry, 5th week. So this is year and this is the week number, na? So week number means we have to count the week. Now how many weeks? May means. Okay, otherwise we'll see here. We'll make first week only. This is first week of 2020, and I want 7th day. 7th day means it is Saturday, right? So now for that, if I execute, so it is 5. It is showing 5/1/2020. 5/1/2020 means, let us go and see in January, right? Sorry, it is showing, so 5/1/2020 it is showing Sunday. Okay, sorry, I think it will start from Monday, na? The days will start from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then Sunday it is, right? Now let us see the second week. 12/1/2020, right? 12/1/2020. 12 is second Sunday. In the second week, Sunday is 2020, right? So like that you can find out the day of any week, day of any week. Yes, Rakesh is asking POSIX date is 1/1/1970. Yes, POSIX date is fixed. Bhavana is telling, sir, today date function will take system date, but by TS I'm getting 1969. Maybe your system date may be wrong. Na? You just check it with your system current system date. Okay, right. Now here one more function is there. Now we were discussing about the date, right? Date class. In the date class, one constructor is there that will take your year, month, and day. It will print the date in ISO format. Then today function is there that is used to get the today's date, and from timestamp function is there to get the POSIX date, and from ISO calendar function is there that is used to get the date of specified year, week, and day, right? So then another function is there from ordinal, right? So from ordinal means the date, exact the starting date, right? Now today's date is like so and so. What is the today's date? It is 7th May 2020, right? So what will be the starting? If I say what will be the starting date, it is 1101 na? So 1st January 0001, right? So now if this parameter, this function will take a parameter, integer parameter. So now if you mention here 1, right? So from 1 means, so this will start, this function will start counting the date from 01010001, right? So that means 1st January 0001, right? Now if I mention the 1 here, so from that day, after 1 day, what will be the date, right? So it will throw that, it will give the output now. So first day is, date is 111, that means January 1st 0001. Now if I mention 2 here, so that is second day. Second day means it is 02 2nd January 001, 2nd January 001. Now if I mention here 30, so that means obviously it is 30th January 0001, right? And if I mention, now if I mention from 1000 days, that means what is the date after 1000 days from the ordinal value, right? So that means maybe it will come 1000 means maybe it is third year na, so it will come 0003, right? So 29th September 0003. So like that you can calculate any date. So that means you can calculate number of things, number of the date corresponding to, right? So now it is 100 means it is 8th March 2739, right? So that means now of course in the 4th class we will find out the number of days, how many days over from the ordinal date. Okay, so now what we will do is now I'll give 1 lakh days, right? So 1 lakh days means it is this one, 16 October 0274, right? 10 lakhs. Okay, so 10 lakhs means it is going to 2738. Okay, I'll give some 8 lakhs. Let us see. So it is 2191. Okay, so like that you can find out the date after any number of days from the ordinal value, right? So these are some of the functions here. Okay, these are some of the functions. So this is about date class. So here we can work with only the date functionality. We are not worked with any time functionality. For working with the time functionality, we will have another class called time class. Okay, another class we have called time class. Okay, so Bhavana is calculated 7375552. 73752. Okay, it is giving today's date. That means it is 7,37,552 days over from the ordinal position. That means from the beginning, this is the 7 lakhs. Today is 7,37,550 second day, right? Fine. So now this is about date class. Okay. Similarly, we will have the time class. We will have the time class. So what the time class will do is, so like in date class, date class. So it has taken the month, date parameters, that is year, month, and day as a parameter, and it is displaying. You can display the today's date, some POSIX date, ordinal dates also we can work with, right? Right. So now mostly we will use the today's date, or generally in our application we are going to set our own date, or we are going to use today's date, right? So in some very less scenarios we will use the remaining methods. Okay, so no need to worry about that. And here time class. So now time class will take time parameters. So now in the PPT already we have seen that in PPT. So in PPT already we have seen that. So it is taking attributes as hour, minute, second, and microsecond. Microsecond and TJD. Of course, TJD info you no need to worry about that. Okay. So I don't want to discuss those things, right? That is time zone information, all those things, right? Now let us go back to our program here. Okay, fine. So now here, now I'm giving here hour, 13th hour, okay, then minute, 30th minute, 30th second, and this is the microsecond. So I'm setting the date as 13th hour, 30th minute, 30th second, and 2,22,222 as the microsecond. Okay. So now if I give print A, what it will print? So it will print the, sorry, by default the date function is, date class is, date program is going to execute. Right. Now if I give this thing now, so it is printing 30th hour, time is 30th hour, 30th minute, 30th second. In that, this is the microsecond, right? That means you can indicate the time to the microsecond precision level, right? And similarly, and remember here, like in date class, this year, month, and day, all these three parameters must. If you don't give three parameters, now it will throw an error, right? But in time class, these four parameters. Now here actually in time class we have the 5 parameters, right? But here we are giving only 4 parameters. That means in time class, whatever the parameters are there, 5 parameters, those parameters are having the default values. Default values means if you don't give any value, the default, it is assumed that the default, it is the default value, right? So now here, now what I'm doing here, here I'm not giving any, for the time constructor I'm not giving any parameter. Then I'm printing the time. What it will print? It will print all zeros. So because this is the default values of hour is 0, default value of minute is 0, default value of second is 0, default value of microsecond is 0, right? And now you can give, if you want, you can give only one parameter out of 5 parameters. No, I want to indicate only minute. I'm not given hour, I'm not given second, microsecond, and TJD information also, right? So now here you can see here it is 0th hour, 35th minute, right? So by using the time constructor, you can declare the time, any time. You can set any time in your application, right? And if you want to get today's date and time, both I want to get the both the information, today's date and today's time. So we'll have the separate class called date time class. So date time class, right? So now of course what we have to do? Now here what we have to do? So here I not discussed about this particular first line. Already I have discussed. Since I have already discussed now, so now from date time I am importing only the time class. Now in the third scenario, in date time class, from date time module I am importing the class name called date time. Okay. So now, so this date time parameter, this date time class will take how many parameters? So it will take, date time class will take attributes year, month, day, hour, minute, second, microsecond, and TJD information, right? But all are not compulsory. Here the compulsory are, first three parameters are compulsory. Year, month, day is compulsory. These are mandatory parameters. Remaining hour, minute, second, microsecond, TJD information, these are not compulsory parameters. Okay, so that's the reason when you are using the date time constructor, you have to pass year, month, and day, right? And the remaining parameters, that is your wish. Okay, so now here I am passing date time 1983 February 10, right? So I'm printing the date, right? So now here I am going to run this program. Now it is date time class. Okay, so 1983 February 10, right? And the hour is 0, minute is 0, seconds are 0. Okay, why it is 0? Because here I have not given optional parameters. That means optional parameters means hour, minute, second, microsecond. So those parameters are having the default value as all zeros. So that's the reason it is printing all zeros. Now, for example, if I don't give the day, what it will happen? We'll see here. So type error, we are getting type error. Function missing required per argument day. Position is 3. That means third argument day is compulsory required for this particular constructor, because this constructor will have total how many? 3 plus 5, 8 parameters. In that 8 parameters, first three parameters are compulsory mandatory parameters, and the remaining 5 parameters are optional. Because why it is optional? Because those parameters are having the default value. So if you don't give the parameter value when you are calling the function, so those default values will be assumed, right? But if you don't give first 3 parameters, since these first 3 parameters don't have the default values, so when you are calling, if you don't give any of the parameter, all the 3 parameters from first 3 parameters, so then it will throw an error, that is type error. Okay, now here in this case I'm giving all the parameters: 1983 month, year, month, day, right, hour, minute, second, microsecond, and TJD information, right? Now it will print. Now you can see here, now it will print entire information. 8:15. Okay, now of course now here print, I'm going to print DT2 now. DT2 means it will store date, entire date as well as time, in ISO format. Okay, but now I don't want to print all these values. But here I am getting like 83 to 10, like year, month, day, hour, minute, second, microseconds, everything I'm getting now. No, I don't want to print all these things. So I want to print year as separate label, and month as separate label, day as separate label, like that. Each and every value I want to print it with corresponding label. Then you can access the individual item from this DT2. This entire date and time will be stored in the DT2. From the DT2 you can access year separately. For accessing year, what you have to do? DT2 dot year, right? Now the DT2 it will show tuple. Now here it will show one list. Assume it is one list, right? Now in that list you are having the date, year, month, day, hour, minute, second, microsecond. Now I want to print only the year, right? So in that case, you have to print it as dt2 dot year, right? I want to print only month. You can give it as dt2 dot month. I want to print only day, dt2 dot day. I want to print only hour, dt2 dot hour. Then I want to print only minute, so dt2 dot minute, dt2 dot second, dt2 dot microsecond. So like that you can access individual items also. Okay, index also, right? I mean separate values also. Okay, so it is actually, it is written in tuple. The tuple will be stored here, right, in dt2. Now, okay, now I want to get the information of current date and time, current date and current time. Okay, so for that one function is there in date time class, that is now. For getting current date in date class, we'll have today function in date class. Okay, but now in date time class, if you want to get the current date and time, so you have to use now. Okay, now function is there, so this will return the current date and time, current date and time. Okay, so that will be stored in the dt3. Okay, that dt3 value we are going to print. So what is the current date and time? So today it is 7th May 2020, and the time is, the time when I executed this particular program is 4:48:13 seconds, and this is the microsecond. Remember, it will print at microsecond level time. Okay, so any doubt till now? Yes, Manish, you can print separate items also. That is what we have discussed now. Yeah, that is what we are discussing now, to print the current time, right? Now the current time we got it. Now for example, I want to print only the time. I want to print only time. So now you can give print dt3 dot hour. Okay, comma dt3 dot minute. Okay, comma dt3 dot second. Okay, of course, whatever the format you want, you can make it. Okay, whatever the format you want to make it, you can make it. See here, current time is 16th hour 52 second, 52 minutes 35 seconds. Okay, since it is 52 minutes, our session is going to finish, right? So we have to speed up, right? Okay, in this way you can print it. And remember here, one important function is there for the date and time module. So that function is strftime function. Okay, strftime function. strftime function. By using this function, you can print different values like year, month, day, and time also, right? So in different formats. That means I want to print year in 4-digit format. I want to print year in 2-digit format, or I want to print day in some first 3 letters. Monday means MON, Tuesday means TUE. So like that, in our daily life, we used to print dates in different formats now. So to provide all those functionalities, we have one function called here strftime. Okay, it will format the date and time. Okay, date and time. This module is there for date time module. Okay, so you can use this particular function in date class, time class, or date time class. Okay, so now here some of the examples I gave here, right? So now if you want to print year, already remember here in dt3 what is there? Already I have fetched the current date and time. That date and time I have stored in the variable called dt3. Now from the dt3, I want to print year in YY format. That means 4-digit format. So you have to give percentage capital Y. If you give percentage capital Y now for this particular function, right? So dt3 dot strftime, right, percentage Y. Then here you no need to mention the year. Okay, just you can mention percentage capital Y. Okay, by using strftime function, whatever the string we are giving, so this will automatically fetch the required value as per the format, right? So now if you mention small y, it will print year in 2 digits. So if we mention small m, it will print month. Okay, so then if you mention small b, it will print first 3 letters of month. That means Jan, Feb, March, MAR, like that. So then full month name, if you want to print, it is B. Okay, so then small d, it will print day, right? And hour, that means hours, minutes, seconds, means this one. So like that, lot of here in the same program I have copied all the possible values. Then if you want, you can try with all these possible values. Okay, for the sample purpose, I am explaining here some of the functionalities, right? So now see here. So it is year. Since I gave capital Y, 2020 is coming 4-digit format. Since I gave small y, here I am getting only 20, last 2 digits, right? So then I gave m na, so month, right? Month is 05, right? Then it is B. That means it is first 3 letters of your month. It is May. Then capital B. Of course, a full month name is also MAY only. That's the reason we are getting only 3. Then small d. It is today is today what date is? Friday, no? Thursday, right? So okay, sorry, date. So it is printing day 7th. Today's date is 7th. Right? Then time is hour, minute, second. Hour, minute, seconds. It is printing. Okay, and here you have percentage A, right? If I give percentage capital A, what it will give? Full weekday name. That means full day of. Now you can see full weekday name. You can print. Today it is Thursday, na? So it will print Thursday full day name. It will print. So similarly, you can try with of course this M we have used, and this dash M. If you use the dash M now, so it will print the month in digit format. Okay, and if you use dash H, it will print 24-hour format. Okay, so 0 padding decimal. So here 0 padding will be there. Here there is no 0 padding. Of course, there is no difference, right? So means 0, 0, 0, 1 like that. It will print. It will print only 0, 1. It will print, right? So like that, you can different options are there that you can check it. So percentage date, it is UTC offset format. Okay. So now this is about. So DD2 में hour तक print हो रहे हैं, minute, second, microsecond नहीं. So maybe DD2 में मैं क्या किया हम? No print हो रहा है ना, इधर print किया ना? इधर देखो hours, minute, second, microsecond भी print हो रहे हैं ना? Maybe उधर आप नहीं दिया, right? So if you don't give ना, those values will be treated as 0, so it won't be printed, right? You have to mention all the parameters here, then you try to print, you will get it. Bhavana. Okay. Right, now this is about datetime class. And the last program and the last class also what we are going to discuss is, so now here I want to import the 2 classes now, right? Datetime class I want time delta class, right? So that also can be possible from datetime module. I'm import datetime comma time delta. 2 classes I'm importing, right? Only you have to mention the comma, that's all. Now what I'm doing from the datetime module, I'm reading the current date and time, right? Current date and time. Now to the current date and time that I'm storing in DD. So to the current date time, I'm adding. What is the use of time delta class now? This time delta class will add number of days. How many, whatever the parameters you are mentioning now, it will add those many days, hours, minutes, second, microseconds, right? So then it will generate the new date. Now here what I am going to do, I want to calculate what is the date and time after 200 days and 3 hours from now. Okay, so now for that what you have to do, Of course, manually you can calculate, or by writing some program, some logic you can calculate. Here we are having the ready-made function to calculate that particular date. Okay, so now in this case, time delta function, I'm giving what I'm giving. I'm giving days equal to 200. I want 200 days, 3 hours. From today's from now onwards, after 200 days, 3 hours, what will be the date and time, right? So now dt plus time delta, it will generate some time delta, date and time now. So that time, date and time will be added to current date and time, and the new date and time will be generated. So that we are going to print here. Okay, sorry, I have to run another program, time delta class, right? See here, I think this is what to run. Okay, time delta class, right? See here, this is today's date, this one, today's date and time. Now after 200 days, 3 hours, you can see after 200 days, this one, 3 hours means current time is 5 o'clock in the evening, you add 3, it will be 20, right? So if you add 200 days, this is the date, after 200 days, 3 hours from now, right? So similarly you can generate the date after 365 days. Okay, so like that you can generate in different ways. That means you can, by using the time delta class, you can generate the new dates as per your requirement. Okay, that is the date again. Mamata madam, date, repeat date again. Date class you want, madam? Mamata madam? Date class. So here date and time. Mamta madam, you are asking that, please repeat date again. Date means date, current date, or you want me to repeat first class, date class? Okay. Okay, date time, date class. Okay, madam. Okay, madam. Mamta madam, I'll do one thing. Tomorrow I will repeat the date class for you, and okay, Sunita is also asking same thing. So today time is over. Tomorrow first I will repeat that date class, and we'll go to our next topic. Okay, and I think except the date class, remaining part is clear to you, everyone. And here also one more, here I have written some small code, right? So that code, and along with that date class I will explain tomorrow morning, I mean tomorrow 4 o'clock. Then we will move to the MySQL part, right? Because today already it is 5:03. So for again repeating, it will take some 5 to 10 minutes, right? That's the reason. Right? Now hope it is clear to everyone till this particular point. So tomorrow I'll show you this particular code, that is finding date reference. That means if you want to find out the difference between two dates, that you can do, right? So that I'll show you this particular code. Then I'll repeat date class once again. So this entire thing will take 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll move to the MySQL part. So tomorrow I'll show you how to install MySQL in your system, how to start the MySQL server, right? And how to work with MySQL from MySQL Workbench. These things I will discuss. And day after tomorrow, we will install the module from Python. And that means we are going to work with MySQL from Python. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. And we'll meet tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So thank you, sir.